when you go and attack Saudi Arabia's oil supply, that's not an attack on Saudi Arabia. That's an attack on the world's economy, right? As a whole. And that's why what the negative side effect to all of that, to the Islamic Republic right now, might be if you ever were hoping to go back to the deal, you're making the Europeans all of a sudden agree maybe with the next administration of United States that, the missiles need to be on the table, right? And I think this is the difference. If Biden decides to make the missiles, it's very difficult to do that, right? Because let me tell you why it's difficult for Biden to actually make bring the missiles and include it into the deal, right? Because it was the United States that threw out the deal, right? So if they want to go, imagine how politically pathetic Iran's politicians are going to look if they told their people that, look at these, we agreed to this deal and they threw it away, right? So they're like, if they want to go back to this deal, they have to be on their knees begging us to go back to the deal. They are the ones who ruined it, right? They have to go back to what we negotiated, and they have to wait for us to respond to them, begging. But imagine if they come back and they're like, you know what, we let's go back to the deal, and we were the ones who threw it away, but we're now going to ask you to go back to it, even though we threw it away, and we're going to ask for more. If Iran says yes to that, all this, chest bumping to their people about we're going to force them to come back to the deal because they need us, because they recognize our hegemony in the Middle East, and they know that they can't do anything without us, and that's why they're crying sorry, we threw away the deal, that was just the orange idiot that did that, please take us back. That's the image that they're trying to portray. That's what's happening. That is going to be really hard to sell that if they ask for more concessions and the Islamic Republic. So right now, Islamic Republic of Iran is very aggressively trying to signal that if you ask for more, we're not going to say yes. I don't know. Now the Biden administration has to see how much of that is a bluff, because the advantage that the Biden administration has to go back to this is that, unlike Trump, it might look like it's going to be based on what other countries are saying as well. It's not like Trump acting like, oh, I'm just going to go on our own way. All these mature people are having these discussions, and I'm just making a mess out of all these amazing deals that people worked on. It's not going to look like that, because if Biden all of a sudden wants to bring out the missile discussion, it might look like, oh yeah, no, I'm having a conversation with other adults in the room, which are our European allies, and they also agree that the missile should be that might work better, right? Yeah. But it might also look bad, because people are like, dude, just go back to the deal that you have, right? But the thing is, that would be such a wasted opportunity if it goes back to the deal we have, because as Trump's sanctions is suffocating Iran's economy, right? Yeah. The pressure is so high that even if they might act tough, that, guys, we're not going to go back to the deal if you include the missiles, it might be so devastating right now that they don't have a choice, right? So whatever Trump did, all the sanctions and everything, you might be like, oh, it was a good idea, it was a bad idea. The thing is that they're there, right? So Biden might as well just take advantage of the fact that Iran's economy is just looking for any breathing room at all. Given that they are there, you might as well take advantage of it and just ask for more. Right.
Well, I mean, that's
use what Trump did to your advantage. The pressure is so extremely there that it would be it's such a wasted opportunity if you don't use this maximum pressure to ask for more from Iran. So this is kind of like a game of chicken, right? Is Iran bluffing that if you say that if I ask for more, there's definitely I'm not going to go back, right? Is there a way, are they bluffing? So and if they're so desperate that if you offer it, they will have to take it, right? Would you throw away, like Biden administration has said that they want to do a deal, they're going to do a deal. If you ask for more, are you going to ruin the whole process and maybe lose everything that you might have gotten, or no, go for the kill, ask for the
Well,
missiles
it's
to
got
be
to be about that. Like, I mean, the way that they came to the negotiating table in the first place, with the Obama administration, is because the Obama sanctions, which were at that time very crippling, and that forced them to come in and make, a certain amount of the deal. But the missiles weren't on the table then. So now the thing is that, again, I think the Trump sanctions are going to stay. I think the Biden administration is going to hold them up. Okay, and they're going to use that. They're going to use that in order to get. More, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I think that this alliance that you have, with the UAE and the Saudis and the Bahrain and everything, and Israel, I think that adds a whole other level of pressure, right?
Right.
Negotiation, but this is, I'm just wondering, because one of the things with Trump was that he tested him out. Like, I don't think any other administration would have, Republican or Democratic, would have gone ahead and just killed Qasem Soleimani. I don't think they would have done it, right? And like to do that and to take the risk, right? Because the idea was that, okay, if we do that, they're going to retaliate big time. But nothing really happened. One thing that Trump did was he kind of tested the waters because he was just more, he's not very risk averse. Went and tested the waters and found out that, okay, they'll respond. They demonstrated their missile capability, but it seems like they're holding that hand for something else. It seems like right now they don't think it's big enough for them to respond, or they're anticipating the next chess move and they know it's going to be really, really bad. So they're not responding because of that. So they sort of tested not just Iran's capabilities, but Iran's will to use its capabilities and what the threshold for that is. And right now they haven't reached it. So they went ahead and they took another big risk by doing this like incredible assassination of Fakhrizadeh, right? So it seems like they're both sort of pushing to see how far the other can go and to see how crippling the sanctions really are, how incapacitating they really are to Iran in terms of getting Iran to do something in response to them.
Hey guys, if you want to join these streams live, get your comments and questions read by Ali and Armin and the guests, and most importantly, to get full access to the full video versions of all these episodes, become a patron. Link in the description below.